The pediatric ward at Boston General Hospital was wrapped in the busyness of December. Lisa Johnson pulled a Christmas card from the pocket of her white coat and placed it on the bedside table of 8-year-old Michael. A small smile appeared on the face of the boy who was hospitalized with the flu. "Nurse Lisa, this is the first Christmas card I've ever received." "Really? Then it's extra special," Lisa replied, placing her hand on his forehead to check his temperature. "You'll be going home soon, so have a wonderful Christmas with your family." Lisa had been working at this hospital for 10 years. 4 years had passed since her divorce, and she had grown completely accustomed to life with just her 6-year-old daughter Emma. Her job as a nurse was never easy, but every time she saw the children's smiles, she felt glad she had chosen this profession. As she was changing clothes in the locker room after her shift, her colleague Sarah approached her. "Lisa, how are you spending Christmas this year?" "Just you and Emma." "No, I'm planning to go back to my parents' house." "With my parents and my sister's family," Lisa smiled, but there was a hint of tension visible in her expression. "That sounds lovely. I envy big family Christmases." Lisa nodded vaguely. She couldn't tell Sarah that Christmas at her parents' house wasn't always enjoyable. Her father Robert and mother Martha held strong traditional values. Especially the belief that boys carry on the family line hadn't changed since Lisa was a child. When she got home to her apartment, Emma was sitting on the floor, working intently on something. Crayons, colored pencils, glue, and scissors were scattered around her. "Mommy, welcome home." Emma looked up with a beaming smile. "I'm making presents for Grandpa, Grandma, and David right now." "Oh, how lovely. What kind of presents?" "It's a secret." Emma hurriedly hid what she was working on. "But I think they'll be happy." Lisa gently stroked her daughter's head. Emma was always such a kind-hearted child who cared deeply about family. Despite not receiving much affection from her paternal grandparents, Emma truly adored them. While preparing dinner, Lisa thought about tomorrow. Her sister Jennifer had built a happy home with her husband Tom and their 8-year-old son David. As a stay-at-home mom, she was treated by their parents as the ideal daughter. David, in particular, was Robert and Martha's only grandson and was doted upon as the precious one who would carry on the family line. "Mommy, David is like a big brother and I love him," Emma suddenly said. "Yes, David is always kind to you." Lisa's heart ached. Emma looked up to David like a real big brother, but the adults' attitudes were clearly different. The grandparents bought David expensive toys and were constantly talking about him. Meanwhile, Emma received modest treatment because she was just a girl. "Mommy, are you looking forward to Christmas tomorrow?" Emma asked innocently. "Of course. We get to celebrate with the whole family," Lisa forced a smile. In reality, Lisa dreaded Christmas every year. Her parents' blatant discriminatory attitude, Jennifer's looks of superiority, and most of all, watching Emma get hurt was painful. Still, she continued to play the role of a normal family as much as possible for Emma's sake. That night, after Emma went to sleep, Lisa carefully wrapped the next day's presents in wrapping paper. On a nurse's salary, she couldn't buy expensive things, but she had prepared a set of picture books Emma had wanted and a small stuffed animal. They would probably pale in comparison to the presents her parents and sister would give, but she felt her love was second to none. Outside the window, snow began to fall quietly. Despite her anxiety about tomorrow, Lisa vowed in her heart to be strong for Emma's smile. What was family bond really? Wasn't there something more important than blood ties? With such thoughts, Lisa ended her long day. On Christmas Eve morning, Lisa headed to the hospital early. In exchange, she would have Christmas Day completely off. The pediatric ward was quieter than usual, and the hospitalized children seemed to be eagerly awaiting family visits. "Nurse Lisa, spending Christmas with family must be nice," yesterday's patient Michael murmured by the window. "You'll be going home tomorrow too. Your mother was so worried about you," so it'll surely be a special Christmas." Even as Lisa answered this way, her own feelings were complicated. While her colleagues happily talked about their families, she alone was hiding her gloomy mood. During lunch break in the staff room, the senior head nurse Helen sat down next to her. "Lisa, you look a bit down. And it's Christmas." "That's not true," Lisa hurriedly smiled. "When I was young, I used to worry about family relationships too. Especially after my divorce, going back to my parents' house was difficult." Helen looked at Lisa with kind eyes. "But children are stronger than adults think. And pure hearts can sometimes work miracles." Those words stayed with her as Lisa finished her afternoon shift. When she got home, Emma had already chosen her outfit for tomorrow and carefully laid it out on the bed. A red velvet dress with white tights and black patent leather shoes. It was Emma's favorite outfit that Lisa had found at last year's Christmas sale. "Mommy, I'm going to wear this to meet Grandpa and Grandma. They'll be happy, won't they?" "Of course, Emma. It's very lovely." Lisa's heart ached at her daughter's innocent expectation. Every time, Emma tried so hard to please her grandparents. But reality always betrayed Emma's expectations. After dinner, Emma immersed herself again in making her secret presents. When Lisa peeked, Emma was cutting out photos and pasting them onto colorful construction paper. "Mommy, don't look." Emma hurriedly covered it with her hands. "Sorry. But you're working so hard on it." "Yes. Because I want to make everyone happy." Emma's eyes were serious. "Grandpa and Grandma always look a little sad, don't they? So I want to make them smile." Lisa felt a lump in her throat. Emma interpreted her grandparents' cold attitude as looking sad, and was trying to comfort them. The next morning, Christmas Day, Lisa and Emma headed to her parents' house early. Jennifer's family's car was already parked at the impressive house in the suburbs. "David's already here." Emma waved happily. Martha greeted them at the entrance. With her white hair neatly styled and wearing an emerald green dress, she looked every bit the elegant elderly lady. "Oh, Lisa. You're late," Martha's voice held a hint of reproach. "Jennifer and her family arrived over an hour ago." "I'm sorry, Mother. Preparations took longer than expected." While Lisa was answering, Emma had already run into the house. Laughter could be heard from the living room, along with Emma's joyful voice calling, "David." When they entered the living room, Father Robert was sitting on the large sofa with 8-year-old David on his lap, reading him a picture book. Jennifer was sitting in a chair near the fireplace, talking with her husband Tom with a satisfied expression. "Grandpa, Emma's here," David said. Robert glanced at Emma but didn't move to lift David from his lap. "Oh, Emma. Have you been well?" His voice was clearly at a different temperature. Emma was momentarily confused but quickly regained her smile. "Yes, very well. Are you well too, Grandpa?" "Well enough." Robert turned his attention back to David. "David, shall we continue reading?" Emma sat quietly in a corner, watching the scene. Lisa placed her hand on her daughter's shoulder and smiled gently at her. When dinner time came, the disparity became even more obvious. At the table set with Martha's luxurious Christmas dinner, David was seated in the place of honor between his grandparents. Emma was seated at the far end. "David, how are your grades at school?" Robert asked. "I got 100 on my math test, Grandpa." "Wonderful. That's my family's heir." Robert's face lit up. "You'll take over the company in the future, won't you?" "Yes. I want to inherit Grandpa's company." Lisa continued eating quietly, but her chopsticks stopped at Jennifer's next words. "Father, boys really are different."
Can you imagine making $10,000 a month just from YouTube, all from home? That's exactly what I did with Candlelight Stories. No face, no voice. Check the link in the description if you're curious.
Carrying on the family line is a boy's role. Girls become part of other families when they marry. Martha agreed. Exactly. That's why we have special expectations for David. Emma just needs to make a good marriage and be happy in the future. Emma continued eating quietly, but Lisa could see her daughter's expression cloud over. Emma's working hard at school too, Lisa interjected. She won a prize in an art contest, and her teacher praised her book report. That's nice, Martha replied superficially. But boys' education is more important. They have to shoulder the future. Robert nodded. David, let's start piano lessons next year. Business leaders need culture. Great. I wanted to learn piano. Emma said in a small voice, I want to learn piano too. But her voice was drowned out by the adults' conversation. Only Lisa heard Emma's words. After dinner, David was being spoiled by his grandparents and receiving special dessert. Emma sat alone in a corner of the sofa, reading a small picture book she had brought. Lisa sat next to her daughter. Emma, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay, Emma turned and smiled, but her smile seemed a little lonelier than usual. But Mommy, during tomorrow's present time, will everyone be happy? I'm sure they'll be happy. You worked so hard making them. That night, Lisa and Emma stayed in the guest room at her parents' house. After Emma fell asleep, Lisa stood by the window looking up at the starry sky. Tomorrow's present exchange time seemed terrifying to her. Surely there would be scenes that would hurt Emma again. Still, she wanted to protect her daughter's pure love. From the next room, the happy laughter of Jennifer's family could be heard. Lisa sighed quietly. Christmas morning, Lisa woke up early. In the bed next to her, Emma showed an angelic sleeping face. Last night, her daughter had said, "Tomorrow will surely be a wonderful day, Mommy," before falling asleep. That innocent expectation squeezed Lisa's heart. After breakfast, the time for present exchange finally arrived. Under the Christmas tree in the living room, presents wrapped in colorful paper were piled up. There were obviously the most for David, including large ones. There were only 2 small presents for Emma that Lisa had brought. Now, it's present time. Martha clapped her hands to announce. Robert sat in the big chair, exuding dignity like a king. Let's start with David. David's eyes sparkled as he pounced on the presents. When he opened the first box, the latest game console came out. Wow! Can I really have this? Of course, Robert smiled with satisfaction. You're our family's precious heir. What came out next were a high-end children's suit, leather shoes, a wristwatch, and a thick set of encyclopedias. Each item was expensive and clearly held expectations for the future. David, you look like a future company president, Jennifer hugged her son happily. Next was Jennifer's turn. From the beautifully wrapped box came a diamond necklace. Oh, Mother! Such an expensive thing. Good daughters deserve appropriate gifts, Martha said proudly. You are our ideal daughter. Lisa gasped. That necklace probably cost a quarter of her annual salary. There's something for Lisa too, Martha offered a small box. Inside was an inexpensive scarf. Practical things are better, right? For a nurse. Lisa smiled and thanked her, but the disparity pained her heart. However, what worried her more was Emma. Now, Emma, when Robert said this, a subtle silence fell over the room. Martha looked around. Oh, where did I put it? I think it was over there, Jennifer pointed vaguely. But nowhere could Emma's present be found. Oh, I must have forgotten, Martha frowned in embarrassment. Sorry, Emma. Let's go shopping later. Emma's face clouded for a moment, but she quickly brightened. It's okay, Grandma. Don't worry about it. Lisa was about to stand up. She couldn't tolerate this situation anymore. But Jennifer's next words made her anger explode completely. It can't be helped, Jennifer said coldly. Boys carry on the family, but But girls aren't needed. They become part of other families when they marry, so buying presents is a waste of money. At that moment, something snapped inside Lisa. Her love for her daughter and years of accumulated anger overflowed all at once. Emma, pack your things. We're going home. Lisa took her daughter's hand. Wait, Lisa. You don't need to get so angry, Martha said hastily. Not get angry. Lisa's voice was shaking. My daughter is treated as if she doesn't exist, and you think a mother shouldn't be angry? Emma squeezed Lisa's hand back but didn't try to stand up. Instead, she said in a small voice. Wait, Mommy. I also have presents for Grandpa, Grandma, and David. Emma took 3 small packages from her bag. Each was carefully wrapped in handmade wrapping paper with handwritten message cards attached. Emma, you made presents. Martha was surprised. Yes. I wanted to make everyone happy. Emma handed them out one by one. Grandpa, this is for you. Robert hesitantly accepted the package. When he unwrapped it, a handmade album came out. On the cover was written in careful letters, "To Grandpa, with love, from Emma." When he turned the pages, family photos were carefully pasted inside. Photos of Robert holding Emma, playing together in the garden, family group photos. And next to each photo was Emma's handwritten message. I love it most when Grandpa smiles. Even though you're always tired from work, you make time for Emma. Thank you. When you read to me in your gentle voice, I was so happy. Emma loves Grandpa very much. Robert's hands began to tremble. Martha was also opening her album. There were photos of her cooking with Emma, picking flowers in the garden. The message read, Grandma's cookies are the most delicious in the world. I remember all the flower names Grandma taught me. Grandma's gentle hands are Emma's favorite hands. Thank you always. David opened his and read aloud, to my beloved big brother. David is always kind to Emma. You play with me, teach me things I don't understand, and you're like a real big brother. Because David is here, Emma isn't lonely. Please always, always be Emma's favorite big brother. The photos showed David and Emma laughing together, walking hand in hand. Emma had remembered every small kindness that the adults hadn't even noticed. On the last page, along with a photo of the whole family, was written, everyone is Emma's precious family. I think we're not family because we share blood, but because we care about each other. Emma loves everyone. Please stay family forever. Robert was the first to cry. The 70-year-old stern man was overwhelmed by a little girl's pure love. Emma, what have I been doing? His voice trembled. Martha also covered her face and began to cry. I'm sorry, Emma. Grandma was wrong. Jennifer stood frozen. Then suddenly she knelt down and sat in front of Emma. Emma, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. Her voice was choked with tears. Aunt Jennifer said very bad things. That girls aren't needed, that's absolutely not true. You are very precious, our family. David also ran to Emma. Emma, you're my precious little sister. I've always thought so. Emma looked confused but began to cry herself seeing everyone's tears. Everyone, why are you crying? Did Emma do something bad? No, Emma, Robert answered in a trembling voice. You did nothing wrong. We were wrong. We failed to notice your pure heart and lost sight of what was important. Lisa was speechless. Her daughter's love had changed the entire family in an instant. The whole family surrounded Emma, embracing each other. However, deep in Lisa's heart, questions remained. Was this change real? Or was it temporary emotion? When time passed, wouldn't they return to their old relationship? Still, in this moment, she could feel true family bonds. Emma's pure love had melted the adults' prejudice and coldness. The family took another careful look at Emma's presents. Robert put on his reading glasses and carefully turned through each page of the album. "Emma, when was this photo taken?" He pointed to a picture of himself reading a picture book with Emma on his lap. "Last Christmas, Grandpa." "When you read The Three Bears to me," Emma answered happily. "Your voice was so gentle." Robert was surprised. He certainly remembered that time, but it was only a few minutes. He had reluctantly entertained Emma while David was in the bathroom. But for Emma, it had become a special memory. Martha was also staring at her album. "This photo, when I was making cookies with Emma." "Yes. When I made them the way Grandma taught me, they turned out so delicious," Emma's eyes sparkled. "Then I made some for Mommy too." Martha's heart ached. At that time, she had only let Emma do simple helping. She had given David the real instruction, yet Emma felt she had received special teaching. "Emma, did you write this letter all by yourself?" Jennifer asked in a trembling voice. "Yes. I looked up difficult words in the dictionary. I wanted to ask Mommy, but it was a secret," Emma answered proudly. Lisa was amazed. When had her daughter become so good at writing? And when had she become able to put such deep emotions into words? "Emma, you've heard our mean talk sometimes, haven't you?" Jennifer courageously asked. "About girls being." Emma thought for a moment before answering. "I've heard it. But I didn't think it was what you really believed." "Why not?" "Because Grandma taught me to cook, Grandpa read to me, David was always kind to me. Aunt Jennifer sometimes complimented my hair," Emma answered with pure eyes. "If you really disliked me, you wouldn't do those things, would you?" The adults were speechless. Emma remembered their small kindnesses and believed that was their true feelings. David took Emma's hand. "Emma, I'm really sorry. Everyone was being mean to you and I didn't stop them." "It's okay, David. You were always kind to me," Emma smiled. "I think of you as my real big brother. I think of Emma as my real little sister too." Tears welled up in David's eyes. "From now on, I'll protect you properly." Robert stood up. "Emma, I have something to say. I want everyone to hear this." He began in a solemn tone. "I've held wrong beliefs for many years. I thought only boys could inherit the family, that girls become strangers when they marry." "Father." Lisa started to speak, but Robert raised his hand to stop her. "Please hear me out," he continued. "But seeing Emma's present made me realize. True family bonds aren't about blood ties or gender. It's about caring for each other." He knelt down in front of Emma. "Emma, can you forgive Grandpa? I'm truly sorry for being cold to you all this time." "Grandpa, you don't need to apologize," Emma wiped Robert's cheek with her small hand. "I love you, Grandpa." Martha also said through tears, "We grew older but were more foolish than 6-year-old Emma. I'm truly ashamed." "Grandma, don't cry," Emma hugged Martha. "Everyone became friends, so it's good." Jennifer bowed deeply. "Emma, and Lisa. I was the worst. I was jealous of Lisa's strength and Emma's purity." "Jealous?" Lisa was surprised. "Lisa raised Emma alone, worked hard. I couldn't do what you did," Jennifer's voice trembled. "And raising such a pure, kind child like Emma. I felt pathetic about myself, so I said those horrible things." Lisa hugged her sister. "Jennifer. But having reasons doesn't make it forgivable." "Emma, I'm truly sorry." Emma took Jennifer's hand. "Aunt Jennifer, don't cry anymore. Emma loves you." Tom also spoke up. "I want to apologize too. I should have stopped my wife's attitude." "Emma, I'm sorry. Uncle Tom doesn't need to apologize either. We're all family." That evening, the family gathered around the dinner table again. This time, Emma sat in the center seat of honor. Everyone listened to Emma's stories and asked about her favorite things and future dreams. "Emma, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Martha asked gently. "I want to be a doctor." "Like Mommy, I want to help sick people," Emma's eyes sparkled. "Or become a teacher and teach everyone about the importance of kindness." Robert smiled. "That's a wonderful dream. Grandpa will support you." "Really? Really?" Whether boy or girl, pursuing dreams is what's important. That night, before bed, Emma said to Lisa, "Mommy, today was a very good day." "Yes, Emma. Thanks to you. Everyone was really kind people after all. They just forgot for a little while." Lisa stroked her daughter's head. "Emma is really a smart child. Much smarter than adults. Let's become smart together, Mommy," Emma smiled with sleepy eyes. Watching Emma sleep in the guest room, Lisa was thinking. Was today's change real? Wasn't it just a temporary emotional surge? However, each family member's tears and words were certainly from the heart. From the next room, she could hear Robert and Martha talking. "Martha, let's go to the bank tomorrow," Robert's voice said. "Why?" "I'm rewriting my will. Emma should inherit equally too." "That's the right thing to do." "Yes. More importantly, we need to treasure Emma more from now on." Lisa cried. Her parents were seriously trying to change. In the hallway, she could also hear Jennifer and David's conversation. "David, let's go buy toys for Emma tomorrow. Can I use my piggy bank money too? I want to give Emma a really good present." "Of course. And Mommy needs to sincerely apologize to Emma too." Lisa smiled. Emma's pure love had truly changed the family. Something more important than blood ties, it was the heart that cares for others. A 6-year-old daughter had taught this to the adults. A week after Christmas, Lisa's cell phone rang in the evening. It was a call from her parents. "Lisa, could we see Emma tomorrow?" Martha's voice was filled with warmth completely different from before. "We want to tell her our true feelings." The next day, when Lisa and Emma visited her parents' house, there was a completely different atmosphere. At the entrance was a cute handwritten welcome board that read, "Welcome, Emma." When they entered the living room, Robert stood up from the sofa. His expression was soft, with kindness in his eyes. "Emma, thank you for coming." He crouched down to Emma's eye level. "Grandpa has something to give you." On the table was a beautifully wrapped box. When Emma opened it, a child's wooden doctor's kit came out. It included a stethoscope, thermometer, bandages, and even a small white coat. Since Emma said she wants to be a doctor someday, Robert's eyes were moist. "Practice with this." "Wow! Can I really have this?" Emma's eyes sparkled. "Of course. You're our precious granddaughter." Martha also approached. "Emma, from Grandma too," she offered a handmade apron. "I want you to wear this when you become a doctor. Until then, let's use it when we cook together." Just then, the front door opened and Jennifer's family came in. Jennifer was holding a small envelope. "Emma, will you read this?" When Emma opened the envelope, there was a letter written in careful handwriting. "Dear Emma, Aunt Jennifer said terrible things to you. I was overcome by jealousy and lost sight of what was important. Your pure love opened my heart. From now on, as your real aunt, I will treasure you. And I will support your dreams with all my strength. With love, Jennifer." After reading the letter, Emma ran to Jennifer and hugged her. "Aunt Jennifer, thank you. I love you too." David also stepped forward. "Emma, I want to give you this." He offered his most treasured baseball glove. "It's still too big, but someday let's play baseball together. I'll teach you." "David, but this is your precious." "Because it's precious," I'm giving it to my precious little sister, David smiled. Because Emma is my real little sister. Robert spoke formally. Actually, I went to the lawyer yesterday. I rewrote my will. I decided to let Emma inherit equally too. Father, such a thing. Lisa was surprised. But there's something more important, Robert continued. That we were wrong. Emma taught us that caring for each other is the true family bond, more than blood ties. Martha nodded. A 6-year-old little girl taught us adults the most important thing in life. Jennifer said through tears, Emma's pure love changed our hearts. I understood what true family really is for the first time. That evening's dinner was the warmest ever. Emma sat in the center, and everyone listened to her stories. About her future dreams, her favorite books, events at school. Emma expressed with her whole being the feeling of being loved by her family. On the way home, Emma said to Lisa in the car, Mommy, everyone really changed. Yes, Emma. Thanks to you. I didn't do anything. I just loved everyone, Emma answered innocently. Loving is a very simple thing, isn't it? Lisa couldn't stop crying. Her daughter's pure love had saved the entire family. A bond deeper than blood, it was the heart that cares for others. A 6-year-old girl had taught this to the adults. In the days that followed, the family relationship changed completely. Every weekend, Emma visited her grandparents' house, learning to cook with Martha and being taught various things by Robert. Jennifer supported Lisa like a real sister, and David became Emma's best big brother. Even as years passed, that Christmas event remains deeply etched in the family's hearts. Emma's handmade album is still displayed in the place of honor in the living room, symbolizing the family bond. A pure child's heart proved that love is the true power that binds families together.